All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself. I hope you're doing well. It's Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, the 8th of October, and we are here again with our live session. Let's start as usual with the dollar index. So, yesterday we had the dollar index going above the high, which is 98.60, and that was our first upside objective, and then the second upside objective was the 99.07 level. So we are looking for a continuation to the upside on the dollar index to 99.07. Now today is Wednesday, so once we reach this area, there might be a probability of price pausing, because that's a nice fair value gap. So there will be a probability of price pausing and then a potential pullback. Now we did gap up, so that will be a nice area for price to retrace back to and continue going higher. So we're gonna keep an eye on that area, and if we also close bullish for today, that will activate this area as a fair value gap as well. So we have a confluence of the volume imbalance, fair value gap, and overlapping previous week high. That will act as a resistance on the weekly chart. That is this candle's high. Okay, so yeah, we're looking for a continuation to the upside. Let's move on to euro. Euro, we did eventually take out that low nicely, and I made mention of 1.1598 as another key level where maybe price will pause a little bit. In here, and you can see that is in effect where price is pausing. Now we might pull back into this, which if you zoom in, it kind of dipped into it, but the real dip will happen during the New York session, and then price will potentially expand to the downside again. Like I said, I'm looking forward for price to come somewhere down here. So on euro, we are looking at 1.1528 level. That'll be a key level for price to reach for. So look for continuation to the downside on euro. If anything, your stock can go above the up candle here, and then continuation to the downside. British pound, same thing. I think we are slowing down on the movement on British pound because of the drop that we have on euro pound, which I'm surprised that so far we couldn't go up yet, because from the weekly perspective, this is an order block and it needs to potentially move up. However, it's not able to go higher, hence I'm still looking for the reversal. I think we've had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday all dropping down. Now we've currently hit a daily fair value gap, a weekly order block. So we need a shift in market structure. So the shift will happen if we go above the up candle, because till now we've not managed to trade above any up candle yet. We made a new low here, we couldn't go above this. Now we have that up candle here. Once we breach that, then we are gonna go up. So looking for a move above that will ensure that the British pound will make its way to the 1.33 to 1.3323 level. Okay, but up candle over here on the British pound, hence I think we might be able to sell that and then aim for that low right there. Okay, so we're aiming for 1.3323 level. Okay, so moving on, I think I just described the euro pound. Gold, yesterday we spoke about gold and I said 4,050, that would be the next drawn liquidity. So 4,050 right here. Okay, 4,050, and then from there that will be 4,001. So continue to look for continuation to the upside. Do not look for sells. If any drop happens, see it as a buying opportunity and then buy it. Okay, so 4,050 and then 4,001, that's your upside objective. In between that, you can aim for 4,075. Okay, 4,075 as a partial profit level. Okay, so 4,075, because we currently have 4,050, so 4,075 and then 4,001. Okay, now on the lower time frame, you can see they did hit the 4,050 right dead on, and then a small pullback. Watch that. If we can trade through it, then 4,075 will be achievable, and then 4,001. Okay, so that is that for the gold market. Again, to stop looking for sells, because this is not a seller's market. I think you can see how aggressive the move to the upside is. It's all coming from this huge consolidation that happened here. There was a lot of buying going on, and from the weekly perspective, actually monthly perspective, that was the last that was an area of accumulation similar to something like this. So if I can give you a rough idea, so that's a consolidation, that's the first area of accumulation, that's the second area of accumulation. All right, so with this move here, we will likely print probably one more up candle. Based on the monthly, we'll print one more up candle, and then we might get either a pullback or an area of accumulation. So we can get another pullback in here or an area of accumulation. If a pullback happens, then we might drop back down to somewhere here to continue going up. But if we don't pull back, then it will just be another down candle somewhere, and then we continue going up, and that will be your third area of accumulation. So if you see price pausing and not going up again, and you see price going up and down like it did over here, that will be an area of accumulation forming. Okay, so that is that for the British pound. But I think 475, 410 is definitely achievable, if not today, by the end of this week. Crude oil, I think crude oil also, we spoke about price going to the 50% level and the volume imbalance over here. So the volume imbalance and the 50% kind of close to each other, so expect price to hit the volume imbalance here, right here. This 63.14 will be the target for now on crude oil, and then if possible the 63.41. Okay, now on the lower time frame, we've just run some stops here and then we left the fair value gap. So if we see any pullback coming, that'll be ideally where price is gonna go. I don't think it might happen, but if it does, that's where you're gonna buy again and then expect a continuation to the upside. On the lower time frame, there is a buy that took place somewhere here. Okay, I think they've already pulled back into it right here. That was a nice buying opportunity during the London session. Why? Because we took out this swing low and then broke up, pulled back, and then we went up again. And then right in here too, go down, right in here, right here, this swing low here, we took it out, broke up, pulled back, and then we went up. We also had something like that right here. We have 1, 2, 3 swing low, and we took it out. We took it out here, went up. So watch this fair value gap, this small tiny little fair value gap here. If we pull back, maybe during the New York session, we might get a reaction up from there to continue going up. So that can be a good entry for that continuation. If it stops out, then you buy the bigger one. This is the H4, this is an M15 one, the same pattern. Okay, so if we pull back here, you buy to continue going up. I think first objective is 63.14, and then the second one is the 63.41. If we pull back to it, then you buy there to continue going up. If it stops out, then use the H4 one. Okay, and then obviously ES, I still think ES is bullish. I think I gave you some levels to watch in case we have any pullback. One of them was here. Let me go down. Yes. Here. That level is still active. That is why we keep hitting it. Even though this went through it a little bit, I still think it's gonna go up. This is reaccumulation taking place. Down candle being bought again to continue going up. So that's Monday, Tuesday, low, and then we go up. If for some reason they come down, then watch this, because that's the only fair value gap that price might want to come back to before going up. So we have this impulse to here, took out some low, and then we made another impulse. So if anything, this would be where they might likely come back to and then continue going up. So if for today, if they come back down, then buy here, or wait for a 15 minutes fair value gap to form after they hit that level. So what I mean is, if price gets here, wait for a 15 minutes or fair value gap to form, and then buy to continue going up. The upside objective is up there, 6838 level. All right, so that is that for the ES market. Now let me quickly double check if we have any news event today. The US government is still shut down, so there's no news today. I think at 7 p.m. there is FOMC meeting, so maybe 7 p.m. that is when you might experience random price movement. Between now and that time, aim for the fair value gap that I pointed to. Okay, moving on to the crypto market. Moving on to the crypto market, I'll come back to the currencies later. But moving on to the crypto market, Bitcoin, as usual, the imbalances that we talked about, that they might likely pull back to, that one. And we've seen so far rejection. On the H4, it did give a sign. I think that was yesterday when I was watching. It almost created this down candle as an auto block, but I think it failed and I didn't look at it again. Now as it stands, okay, this up candle needs to be broken before we resume going up. So watch that up candle, or this candle's low, okay, which comes in at, let me use the horizontal, okay, that level 123,395 level. If we can close above that, then price will show signs that they might break the up candle. The key word here is it's gonna show signs, not that it's going to break it. Once they go above that, that will be a sign that they are likely gonna break that up candle. So that is where you're gonna start looking for a confirmation that price will resume going up. Until then, stay put, because currently the H4 is in a downtrend, but the daily, weekly, it's in an uptrend. So weekly is in an uptrend, daily is in an uptrend, but the H4 is in a downtrend. So this could be just an accumulation taking place. This down candle could be just an accumulation taking place, but for them to confirm, we will need price to trade through this up candle. Then we have a confirmation that the drop was a reaccumulation, and then price will resume going up to these projected upside objectives. Okay, so be patient. If you're trading the crypto market, let them break it before you look for potential buy. Same thing with the Ethereum market. H4 is in a downtrend, So you need to be patient and wait for that to shift. I think Bitcoin is much better than Ethereum because Ethereum has a big void. Okay, so focus on Bitcoin. Solana is similar. H4 is currently in a downtrend. So with Solana, you can look for the gap to be traded through. So this gap comes in at 225.46 and then 228.57. Those two price points, you want price to breach that, then you can look for the buy. If not, stay put for now because we've shifted on the lower time frame. XRP has struggled to go above that up candle, which is over here. So as it stands, maybe a consolidation on the XRP is possible. We're going up, down, up, and then back down again. So price might stay in here, but ultimately I think we will come back up here. This is all just accumulation taking place because this is an impulse leg, this is a pullback. So all that is taking place is just an accumulation. Eventually we will snap up again. Okay, as to when, probably this month or next month, because these 2 months usually sees price expanding. Price doesn't consolidate during October and November, so definitely expansion will take place, and based on what the Bitcoin market is doing, it might be to the upside. Okay, hype is also not doing a good job. We aimed for 5.3, 5.7 and 5.9. Price is not doing that, and based on the monthly, I made mention that if you don't go if you don't hold this down candle, if you don't hold it, then they might come back down to here, right there. I think I marked it over there. They might come back to that area before resuming going up. So with hype, I'll probably say a sell would be a great idea. A sell to this low, 39.74, and that would be a great idea on hype. Okay, because it's bearish on the daily, but bullish on the weekly. Okay, bearish on the daily, bullish on the weekly. So the daily can continue its bearishness and align with the weekly. Hence, we can come back here, then shift, then we align to go back up again. So watch out for a potential move to 39.72. AI 16, that gap is being stubborn. It doesn't want to allow price to trade through. So maybe a consolidation, because there's no need for it to continue going down because we are really low. So we might either stay in a consolidation or this fair value gap will shift price back up again. Now keep an eye on that, especially this down candles high. We want price to stay above it to sustain the reversal. If we don't, then there's going to be a problem. Not a problem, but as in bullishness will be put to the sideline for now, and maybe another run rejection, and we can start looking for the bullish run. Okay, so as it stands, watch this fair value gap. We also have a up candle here which will act as a breaker. So I think we might stay in here for some time. waiting on Bitcoin to show signs that it wants to continue going up. Then the cryptos will resume their bullish trend. And then Chachki, we did not get the move at the 50%. So previous week low being taken, we've closed below it. We have an up candle here. Probably they might come back for this low again, but as soon as they take it, there will be, or there might be, or there's a high probability that it's going to reject as soon as it takes out that low. Okay, I don't like trading pairs with such huge wicks. Sometimes it becomes a nightmare trying to predict them when we have a huge wick like that. I don't like it, simply because when it does not follow through, because this huge rejection, that's a sign of bullishness. If we don't follow through and then it comes down like this, it becomes a nightmare to trade, because they took out a high, took out a low, and we are supposed to go up because the blue candle represent bullishness after a huge rejection. Okay, so now that they've managed to go below the previous week low and closed they closed below it, that is not a good sign. Ideally it should have rejected. So yesterday I was looking for that. Yesterday I was looking for this to reject and then go back up, but it seems that wasn't the case. So we might come all the way down, take out the one or this low, and then immediately reject. Okay, so keep an eye on it. If you are bullish, be patient, don't buy yet. Okay, all right, now let's go back to the currencies and get rid of that. I wanted to talk about that 1 hour. Is it 1 hour? Okay, 4 hour. So on the 4 hour time frame, we have formed a swing high. Okay, usually a swing high is a confirmation that we are going to pull back, but it can also be a reaccumulation because we have this and that. So we consolidated, we expanded, we accumulated, and then we've expanded. So we are likely gonna either reaccumulate, which is what I'm trying to see here, or which is what I think price is trying to do, and then expand to this level next. Okay, so during this New York session, focus on this gap, between 2 and 5. Focus on this gap and look forward for a 1 hour order block to form, something like this. Something like that. So a down candle and an up candle to form inside here, something like this. Okay, or something like that to form inside here. As soon as you see that, the next candle, it's likely going to expand up, or it's going to come back, touch the candle's high, and then expand up. That is your clue. As soon as you see that, you go on euro, you go on pound, and then you look for a sell. Okay, as it stands, don't do anything. Wait, let the dollar index give you the pattern that I've just drawn here on the 1 hour time frame. Once you see it, go on euro, go on pound, and then look for sell to continue going down. All right, and definitely gold, if they go above that, look for continuation, and then I think pretty much that's it. So that is all I have for this afternoon. I'll see you all same time tomorrow at 1 p.m. and we'll see what the market will provide for us. Until then, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you same time tomorrow.